days. Teachers, educators need to show up at a site with their ID starting on Monday, and we'll ensure that they get vaccinated.
Breaking at 5 o'clock, Hoosier teachers now on the list.
The state will soon open up eligibility for the COVID-19 vaccine. But first,
on this vote, the yeas are 220, the nays are 211. The motion is adopted.
help is here. President Biden tweeting that moments after Congress passed his landmark $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan. He says he looks forward to signing the bill on Friday. Now the work starts to get relief to Americans.
The most noticeable part of the legislation is up to $1,400 direct payments to most adults. It extends $300 per week emergency unemployment benefits into early September. $350 billion will go to states and local governments. It also significantly expands the child tax credit.
Republicans voted along party lines in both the House and Senate. A new CNN poll out today shows 61% of Americans support the legislation. Even after today's vote, lawmakers showed a deeper divide.
I think this is actually one of the worst pieces of legislation I've seen pass here in the time I've been in the Senate. We believe that the American people need to learn more and more about it.
Democrats are delivering. Promises made, promises kept.
People could start seeing stimulus payments within days. Those with bank information on file with the IRS will most likely get their money first.
All right, now to that other breaking news story. Indiana teachers, aides, and other staff will be able to start signing up for a coronavirus vaccine beginning Monday, and that is no matter their age.
State health officials say it's part of a new requirement from the federal government. Wish TV's Dan Klein joining us now with the details, along with another long list of Hoosiers who are newly eligible, Dan.
Yeah, more than a dozen different categories I'm going to tell you about in just a second. But it's the news about teachers that's really the headline. Many teachers have been eagerly waiting to get vaccinated, something surrounding states have prioritized already. Up till now, state health officials had maintained their approach was purely based on risk factors for COVID-19 death or severe complications. Well, that partially changed last week when the federal pharmacy program began allowing teachers to sign up at Walmart, Meijer, and Kroger. But beginning Monday, now they can sign up for a dose through the system administered by the state.
Well, I would say it wasn't a 180 on our part. We had a plan. We were executing that plan very methodically. I would use the word, I think, perfectly or flawlessly. We were using data to drive all our decisions about those who were most at risk. The administration, our federal partners, have said you need to add in to any site, and so we will do that.
Now listen up. There's also a large number of Hoosiers who are now being contacted and encouraged to sign up because of their risk factors, including people with cystic fibrosis, muscular dystrophy, severe asthma, spina bifida, and those with an immunocompromised state, including HIV. If you think you may qualify, contact your doctor if you haven't heard from them already. Reporting in the studio, Dan Klein, Wish TV, wishtv.com, and be sure to follow us on Facebook.
Dan, thank you. Getting teachers vaccinated is a big step to getting all students back in school full time. IPS already announced it plans to bring back all kids after spring break. Now Carmel School says it's working on a plan to do the same. News 8's Logan Gay shares reaction from parents and a teachers union.
Families at Carmel Clay schools are sharing mixed reactions after finding out the school administration is working on a plan to send 6th through 12th graders back to the classroom.
We've got to do something.
Myla McKinney has 3 kids in Carmel Clay schools. She says the hybrid education model has been challenging for them.
And then mentally, it's been challenging.
This post on the Carmel Clay Schools Facebook page telling families they are working on a plan to get students back into the building full time. McKinney tells me the sooner this happens, the better.
Feel that they are not alone anymore and, reestablish relationships with friends that they had before all of this begun. And it's a good trial run for next year, I think. I mean, it will help us work out the kinks.
But Carmel schools are not the only ones considering this. Yesterday, Noblesville Schools sent a message to parents and staff telling them it's looking at next steps with the goal of getting back to normal schedules when it's safe. But the president of the Indiana Teacher Association, Keith Gamble, says school administrations and parents need to proceed with caution.
An appointment to be vaccinated is not the same as being vaccinated. I know that teachers and all staff are wanting to get everything back to as close to normal as possible, as soon as possible. But the CDC has been pretty clear that we need to make sure that we don't get out too far ahead of things, and we don't want to make the wrong decision this close to the finish line.
He believes there are a lot of questions that need to be considered.
How classrooms need to be set up when you're welcoming more back into the classroom, that needs to be considered. The lunchroom, when you're going to have now, when you would have had half as many seats filled, you may have almost all of the seats filled.
McKinney says she understands the hesitation from some members in the community, but feels this is the right thing to do at this point.
It's a very hard decision to send your child back into still a COVID era school, but we've got to do something because the kids are just falling more and more behind academically because they're not in school the full time.
The administration says parents will be notified when the transition plan is finalized. In Indianapolis, I'm Logan Gay, WishTV.com, and follow us on Facebook.
Logan, thank you very much. Meanwhile, the U.S. is buying more of the one-shot Johnson & Johnson COVID-19 vaccine. President Joe Biden has directed the Department of Health and Human Services to purchase an additional 100 million doses. The president met with Johnson & Johnson and Merck earlier today. Merck is helping manufacture the vaccine under a deal brokered by the White House. It's not known how long it will take for the 100 million doses to be manufactured and distributed.
Tomorrow night, I'm going in prime time address the American people and talk about what we've been through as a nation this past year. But more importantly, I'm going to talk about what comes next. I'm going to launch the next phase of the COVID response and explain what we will do as a government and what we will ask of the American people.
The Biden administration hopes they will have enough vaccine for every adult in the United States by the end of May.
The Johnson & Johnson vaccine is what will be administered at a mass vaccination site in Gary next week. The state health department decided to host that clinic at Calumet New Tech High School. You must make an appointment ahead of time. Other mass vaccination sites are planned for Sellersburg this weekend and Notre Dame later this month. We'll do at 5 o'clock. The Indianapolis International Airport will start testing travelers for COVID-19 tomorrow. The testing is optional, but if you want one, there will be a special location for it in baggage claim. Testing will be available there on Mondays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Sundays. The rapid test is cheaper for $95 if your insurance doesn't cover it. You do have to register in advance.